Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Let's just start with a little dance to get in the mood. Firstly, we're going to start with brows using Fix Plus and some soap on a little spoolie, and we're just going to lay down them hairs and then turn the spoolie over and use the end of the spoolie to stick that down to the skin and to make sure them hairs do not move. Using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Auburn, I just start out by underlining my brow and then doing the same on the top of my brow just to form that shape. And then I'm going to start by filling in the tail of my brow. This is where you want the darkest of the eyebrow, and then working my way to the front of the brow and just mimic the natural hair strokes in an upward motion. Using the P. Louise base in the shade 3, I'm going to begin by just carving underneath my brows to make them nice and clean. I then just drag down that product onto the lash line and underneath the lash line using that concealer brush, switching up and using a Ivana Beauty cake sponge to blend out that product and set it down. I like to blend out the edges. This just helps later on when we are applying our foundation. Taking the Bperfect Carnival XL palette, I'm going to pick up this red shade. I will leave all the products listed down below and all the brushes that I use in order also because I cannot remember them off the top of my head. But I'm picking up a brush and just placing that into the crease. You can see that I'm kind of just wiggling it into the place where I want it to be. I'm not fully blending out the eyeshadow. I'm just kind of stamping it and making an outline to where I want the color to be placed. You can see now that I'm also just winging it out on the outer portion of the eye and doing a little bit of blending as well, just so the edges aren't as harsh when we go in and apply the next color. Then we're going to pick up this burnt orange shade from the same palette on a smaller pencil brush and directly just start blending this on top of the first shade that we put down. We really want to keep the structure of this eyeshadow look and just blending it out so it's nice and smooth and seamless. We will go in with a fluffier brush once we apply that same color just to get a more even blend and a more controlled seamless blend up to the eyebrow. I do pick up a little bit more product on this fluffy brush, the burnt orange shade, just to blend in the red, just to make it a little bit more gradient and so you can see that burnt orange on the brow bone. So now we're going to cut the crease using the Blank Canvas by P. Louise on this Jar Cosmetic Concealer Cut Crease Brush. It's the best brush I've ever used, honestly, and I will leave that link down below. You can just kind of see that I'm always opening my eyes and looking straight ahead. This is just going to ensure that my cut crease is above my natural crease because I do have hooded eyes. I like to just stamp out kind of where I'm going to cut it first, and then I'll take my Micellar Water and clean off the lid space, clean off the eyeshadow that's already down and also the eyeshadow base. Doing this step, it's just going to enhance the next step where we actually apply the cut crease, and it's going to add more of a fuller coverage onto the lid space. Using the same product and also the same brush, I'm going to, as you can see in the video, start at the top of the crease and just pull it straight down to the lash line. This is going to help give the most sharpest cut possible, and you're not kind of like wishy-washing it all over the monolid. I've tried to keep as much of the video in as possible. I've also sped up areas just to show you the process of the makeup and how long it actually does take and the steps it takes to get to the finished result. I just grabbed a clean brush and I'm going to pat down that eyeshadow base just to set it down and to ensure no creasing, and then I just blend in that inner corner of the eye. This is just going to make sure that there's no harsh lines between the product and the skin. I was just kind of playing around in this video and didn't really know what look I was going to do. So here you can see I'm actually adding like another little wing element, I guess. I'm just using the same eyeshadow base and the same cut crease brush and cutting out a little wing and then switching up brushes again and just blending that out once again, just so there is no harsh lines between the eyeshadow base and the skin. Picking up that same palette, we're going to take this white shade on a packing brush and just set down the whole lid space. Now I was going to use glitter to start with, but I last minute decided to go matte, which isn't really a good idea for hooded eyes, but we just ran with it anyway. So moving on to the next step, I'm using this Ivana Beauty Neon Liner in the shade Peach. It's so beautiful. I'm so obsessed with it. I just activated it with a little bit of water and I'm using a very, very fine eyeliner brush to apply this product. Now, I didn't really notice until I was editing this video that this kind of reminds me of a flame. Does it remind anyone else of a flame? Let me know in the comments down below. I wasn't even going for that type of look and it just ended up being that type of look, if you know what I mean. Now this step took a little bit of time because it was very fine detailed. I think I held my breath mostly through it. But yeah, I just simply kind of outline where we applied that eyeshadow base earlier. I then decided to take the liner right across the lash line and connect it up to the outer portion of the wing, and then using a makeup wipe I just put it on the end of my brush and cleaned up that area, made it nice and sharp and nice and clean. I then went ahead and coated my top lashes using mascara. Now I don't remember exactly what mascara I used, but just any mascara will do. Using a black kohl pencil, this one is by MAC, I'm pretty sure. I then just line the top waterline. As you can see, I like to close my eyes and do it. I find it a lot more comfortable doing it that way. For lashes, I'm using these Faux Mink lashes by Ivana Beauty. You guys need to go and check out the Ivana Beauty lash range. They are so amazing and affordable. Now moving on to skin, I'm using the Hangover primer by Too Faced and just applying that using a foundation brush. Now I have a normal skin type and I love this primer because it just makes me feel nice and hydrated. For foundation, I'm using one of my favorite foundations in the whole world. This is by MAC. It is Studio Fix Fluid. I just applied that using a brush and then I took my Ivana Beauty cake sponge and blended that out for a flawless finish. To conceal and highlight the face, I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This I think is in the shade Porcelain Beige. I think I will leave it listed down below, but I wanted this look to be quite dramatic, like the base, because the eye was so full on. So I'm just placing that underneath the eye, the forehead, the chin, down the center of the nose, and also kind of up near that temple area as well. Obviously, I'm only doing half the face, so please no one come at me. This was just a little bit of fun. I wanted to sit down and play around with some makeup, but could not be bothered to do the whole face. Not because I'm lazy. The eye look took me a little bit, so I mean, you know, I kind of just wiped it off straight after anyway, so it was just a waste of makeup really to do the whole face. But anyway, I just blend that out using my Ivana Beauty cake sponge. To contour, I decided to do a little bit of cream contouring using the Huda Beauty Tantour in the shade Fair. I just started off with a brush and just placed it in the areas that I wanted the contour to be, and then I went in with my cake sponge and blended that out. Now I forgot how much I love cream contouring, honestly, and this Tantour is so beautiful. I actually need to get a few more shades because I love it so much. I forgot how much I loved it until I did this video again. But I also just switched up brushes to a little round concealer brush and done my, well, I mean one side of my nose and also underneath my lips for a little bit of an extra contour down there as well. Now taking the NARS Orgasm liquid blush, I'm just applying that on a brush first and then using my sponge to blend that out. As you can see, I don't really take it onto the apples of my cheeks because I wanted more of a dramatic contoured blush as opposed to a nice flushed all over blush, if that makes sense. Now I'm just going to use this light pressed powder to set underneath the eyes and also down the center of the face. I'm not sure of the shade name and who it's from, but I will leave that listed down below when I figure that out. And then I decided to set the rest of the face using the Australis Fresh and Flawless Pressed Powder, which is an oldie but a goodie. Now to make the contour a little bit more dramatic, I'm just taking the Hoola Bronzer by Benefit on this Morphe brush. I'm actually loving this Morphe brush. It's a new one. I don't know the number of the brush off the top of my head, but I will leave it listed down below. It's the perfect brush to contour with. Like, I love it. But I just took that down my cheekbones, my forehead, and also underneath my jawline and my chin area as well. Using this blush trio by Anastasia Beverly Hills, I just pretty much pick up all the shades in that palette on a contoured angled brush and place that just straight over the top of the contour. I just wanted to add a little bit more of an orangey blush to kind of melt in with the eyes. And then I'm going to clean up that contour and make it nice and sharp using the same pressed powder. Then just taking the same blending brush with no extra product, I'm just going to blend in that eyeshadow just because we blended around that area with the foundation. So I'm just kind of evening it up a little bit. And then we're going to take that same palette and take the black shade on a flat packing brush and pack that into the lower waterline to make it nice and smoky. And then I just switched up brushes to a little flat definer brush and started to blend in that same shadow that we put in the crease. It was like that burnt orangey shade. Just so it all kind of matches and flows, but I wanted to keep this lower lash line very smoky and very sultry. And then I just switched up brushes again to more of a fluffier brush to blend out those edges. Using this Pigment Primer by NYX, I'm just applying that into the inner corners of my eyes using a small pencil brush and applying some pigment. This is Moonstone by Ivana Beauty. It's super pretty. It's got like a little purpley reflect in it. I just wanted something to pop in that inner corner. I then just went ahead and applied some mascara to the lower lash line. For highlighter, I'm using the Diamond Cut highlighter in the shade Asha from Ivana Beauty, and I'm just applying that on my cupid's bow, my cheekbones, down the center of my nose, and also to the brow bone. I then just took a clean fluffy brush and blended the highlight and the eyeshadow on the brow bone. To line the lips, I used a lip pencil from MAC in the shade Chestnut. It looks a little bit dark at the moment, but I do go in with a lighter lipstick and blend it all out. I actually like this lip combo. It turned out much nicer than what I expected, but I'm just going in with a lipstick from MAC, and it is in the shade Love You Back. I'm just patting that in to the center of the lips, and then I go in with a clean fluffy blending brush and just blend out the lipstick and the liner so it is nice and seamless. Then to finish off the look, I'm just using my Fix Plus by MAC to spritz down my face. So here we have the completed look. I really hope you guys liked watching this video as much as I loved playing around with this makeup look today. Makeup is fun, it's creative, and I just love it so much, and I want to just play around and have some fun with it. If you guys like watching this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys all in my next one. Bye!